Next on Worcester News tonight, a frigid start to the week. The efforts to keep people warm and safe across the city. Plus, the Patriots are Super Bowl bound. The local business is making championship merchandise for fans. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. Dangerously cold temperatures are settling in tonight with wind chill temperatures below zero. But after Sunday's storm and today's cold temperatures, it looks like we can expect a warm up later this week. Here's meteorologist Tim Kelly with a quick look at the forecast.
Yes, we did set a record. -6 at the airport this morning. Tied the record actually from 1970. It's the coldest air we've had since the beginning of last year at least. On the backside of the storm, which really, what a mess yesterday. Maybe the snow wasn't that deep, but the sleet and the freezing rain. Oh, so cold this evening. Good day not to go outside. This is a warm front to our west. It is going to warm up about 20 to 40 degrees over the next 48 hours. But in the next 12 hours, we're just slowly getting rid of that sort of Arctic air cloud and snowflakes coming out of a seemingly blue sky. That's what happens. Snow accumulated on Cape Cod today, 10 in Barnstable. At the airport, hanging around zero this evening. Watch the clock, watch the time. It's just not changing. So in this kind of an air mass, it doesn't matter whether it's day or night. The heart of the chill can come right in the middle of the day. And then at night, it does not get much colder. As a matter of fact, it could be a degree or two warmer when the sun comes up tomorrow. Less wind, a more blue sky, and more tolerable air tomorrow. Frigid at the bus stop, but we get to 20 to 25 in the 40s on Wednesday with some rain. More details in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Tim. And frostbite can set in quickly in today's cold weather. Many people in Worcester were looking for a place to warm up, and one local food pantry says they were busy the minute they opened. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us live now with more on today's dangerously cold weather. Brittany.
Olivia, the snow from Sunday's storm isn't going anywhere with these cold temperatures. According to the National Weather Service, it feels like it's negative 24 degrees out here. Doctors we spoke to say even being outside for 10 minutes can be dangerous. The demand for a warm place to stay is high as temperatures fall. Cold in the single digits Monday, forcing St. John's Food for the Poor to open their doors early.
Right now, we're the only place open in the city. I opened a little early, about 6:45 this morning, and as soon as I turned the lights on, the shelter emptied out, and there was about 50 people.
People who use the services says the pantry keeps the community safe during the extreme cold.
Today they gave me a pair of gloves, which I thought was very, very nice, one of the staff. I enjoy coming here for warmth, the nice food they give me.
That's what we're here for, not only to feed the less fortunate, but, take them in out of the cold.
Record low temperatures overnight also kept area hospitals busy. At UMass Memorial Medical Center, Dr. John Broach says being outside in this weather is dangerous.
Really try to stay inside as much as you can because it doesn't take being out for more than 10 or 15 minutes before you can really start to get in trouble with frostbite and other cold injuries.
Broach says the most common issue resulting in fatalities is carbon monoxide poisoning with people trying to heat their home. He says the city has already seen many cases this year.
Don't run generators, don't run ovens, don't run things in your house unless you're doing it in a properly ventilated area, never inside. We've seen already a couple of fatal cases in the Worcester area this year of carbon monoxide poisoning, so everybody please be careful this winter season.
And Broach says if you have to be outside, it's important to layer, and if you start shivering, you need to head inside immediately. Live in downtown Worcester, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Residents and businesses spending much of their day shoveling out from Sunday's storm. Flying Rhino's owner was snow blowing the sidewalks in front of his Shrewsbury Street business so people could get in for lunch. They closed yesterday because of the weather conditions. Paul Barber says he spent about 12 hours or so removing snow.
Got here yesterday and did what we could, but then, plows come by and ruin everything that you do. So you knew you were coming back here to snow blow more. It was like, oh, and negative, 25 out or whatever it feels like.
And Barber says he's hoping this is the one big snowstorm of the season. The flu virus is nearing its peak for the season, and a doctor at UMass Memorial Medical Center says numbers have increased in Worcester this past week. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the flu is widespread in Massachusetts. Dr. Jennifer Daly is the clinical chief of infectious diseases. She says this year's numbers are looking slightly worse than last year, making this one of the most difficult flu seasons in recent history. Daly says this past week, the hospital has seen confirmed cases of the flu every day.
Accelerating, and either we just hit it or we're going to hit it soon. It just depends how big the epidemic is this year. The flu's serious for everybody. One of the problems is you get super infection with bacteria. We know that people under stress can die of the flu. We know that older people die of influenza.
And Dr. Daly says it isn't too late to get the flu vaccine, and she says this year it is very effective. Well, the Patriots are back home after winning the AFC Championship game. The team, returning to Gillette Stadium early this morning, is now turning their attention to the Rams. This is the team's third straight trip to the Super Bowl and Tom Brady's 9th overall. But as Monica Medea reports, the players are pumped for this one.
The Patriots back home in New England after winning their third straight AFC Championship.
Hello, Super Bowl! I was probably as excited as I've been in a long time.
Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski celebrating the W over the Kansas City Chiefs in this Instagram video, the quarterback acknowledging the doubters out there.
I think we've overcome a lot this year. Down but not out.
Brady was ultimately unstoppable, taking his team 75 yards to the end zone in overtime to win.
You're always comfortable with Tom going down on those drives. He's always prepared.
No one I would rather have in a 2-minute drive than number 12, and he just proved it again.
The action left fans on the edge of their seats.
Nerve-wracking, I'll tell you. My heart was beating the last 5 minutes of the game. It was just, come on, come on.
Not surprised, not surprised that they came back.
Now the Pats have another chance to earn a 6th Super Bowl ring. They face the Los Angeles Rams in Super Bowl 53. It will be a rematch of the 2002 Super Bowl. Back then, the Patriots beat the St. Louis Rams, then dubbed the greatest show on turf. That win was the start of what will become an unbelievable run with Brady and Coach Bill Belichick at the helm. But don't talk to him about that.
Happy for our team, happy for our coaching staff, our players, and the entire organization for what we accomplished tonight. And we'll start getting ready for the Rams. I don't know about a historical comparison. I'll leave that to the experts here.
Monica Medea, Worcester News Tonight.
And it was a busy 12 hours for New Tech Design Group in West Boylston. Crews came in around 10:30 Sunday night and started printing shirts for Patriots fans with the words AFC Champions on it. New Tech says they plan to print at least 10,000 shirts for stores like Dick's Sporting Goods. And while they had to come out late last night, they say it was all worth it.
Actually, it was so cold that I was really betwixt in between about getting out of a warm house and jumping in the car and doing this all night, but it's definitely worth it.
And New Tech says they will be printing more shirts if the Patriots win the Super Bowl. The government shutdown is now in its 31st day. The country's political divide was addressed at this year's annual Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast in Worcester. Both the keynote speaker and Congressman Jim McGovern agreed something needs to change. Our Chandler Walsh joins us live now with more. Chandler?
Olivia, the breakfast is one of the largest Martin Luther King Jr. events in the city. Speakers hope it motivated people to come together, compromise, and make progress like Dr. King would have wanted. Hundreds gather in song and prayer for the 34th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Community Breakfast. The event at Quinsigamond Community College attracts elected officials and community members to honor Dr. King's legacy and inspire people to continue his life's work.
The fight is not over. It did not end with the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act and the Fair Housing Act.
President of Clinton College in South Carolina, Reverend Dr. Lester McCorn, gave the keynote address. The Worcester native told attendees the civil rights movement and fight for equality are far from over.
Hopefully people will be inspired and motivated to do even more to make America a really great country.
The event highlighted progress being made in Worcester. Mayor Joseph Petty says the city is working to diversify the workplace and make everyone feel welcome.
If the city succeeds,
needs and it doesn't bring anybody up with it, at the end of the day, what you're going to have. So it's important that everybody who lives here feels included, feels like they have an opportunity to succeed.
This year, Martin Luther King Day comes during the longest partial government shutdown in history. A shutdown Congressman Jim McGovern says is over a border wall he calls racist and dividing. He worries the country is sliding backwards when it comes to race relations.
We need to have a conversation on border security, but we need to move away from all this coded language and coded policy that really, is designed to divide our country.
McCorn says the current political climate includes hostility and resentment. He says there's more work to be done to accomplish King's dream.
In these times that we're living in, where there are those that would seek to divide us, there's still opportunities like this to bring us together.
The event also awarded scholarships to Worcester County students and a Minority Achievement Award to a Worcester fire lieutenant. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight. The opioid epidemic is challenging communities across the nation, but new data shows opioid deaths in Worcester are on the decline. Police responses to overdoses in the city rose from 957 in 2017 to more than 1,100 in 2018. But opioid deaths decreased from 76 to 68 over the same period. Worcester police say this is largely because of the availability of Narcan.
All the first responders in the city carry Narcan now. We've had a lot of saves. I think the police department had close to 100 this year. And also it's available without a prescription now. So it's out there, people have it, people are aware that it can counteract the effects of opiates at times.
The police department also has a crisis intervention team to connect people suffering with addiction to the proper services to help them get off of drugs. A fund named in honor of a Worcester firefighter's daughter has surpassed $500,000 in a little more than a month. Firefighter Christopher Roy died in December battling a 5-alarm fire in the city. He leaves behind his 9-year-old daughter, Ava. The Worcester Firefighters Local 1009 created the fund in her name and say the amount of donations is overwhelming. An event called Towns of Love for Ava Roy will be held January 25th at 7 p.m. in Shrewsbury. Be Like Brit in Worcester is asking everyone to go blue for Brit. Today would have been Brittany Gangle's 29th birthday. The Rutland woman was one of 300,000 people killed 9 years ago in an earthquake in Haiti. Since then, her family has created an orphanage in the country to carry out her final wish. As of today, 66 children live in Brit's home.